Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made these cute little Boo to You Hershey candy bar wraps. They're quick and easy to do, and with our bold colors found in our Stamping Blends line, you're going to have a lot of fun making these. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to start by stamping the Boo to You image here onto my Whisper White cardstock. I happen to be using this little Wolfman image. I am using the Tuxedo Black ink because I need to use that for my Stampin' Blends, and I am going to bring in my Highland Heather, and I am going to add a little bit of the darker here onto his coat. I'm going to do the lapels solid and a little bit under it, and then of course under his little head here. And I'll put that away and bring in my light. And this is just quick and easy coloring. I am not stressing about this shading wise. The kids won't care, but the two-tone will give it a little bit of pop and shading that we like. I've colored his pocket there, and then I'm going to bring in my bullet tip, and I am simply going to add some detail to his pocket and his button. I'm going to bring in the dark Cajun Craze, and I'm going to color his pants quickly. Most of this is going to get cut off, so I am just going to use the dark shade here. And then I am going to bring in my crumb cake, and I am going to start by coloring his little face, and I'm going to do that in the light crumb cake here. Going all the way around, being careful not to get those teeth because I want them to stay white. And then I'm going to add a little bit to his ears here and to his hands. I'm not going to worry about those feet because, like I said earlier, most of that is not going to show. And I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom of his chest hair there. And then I'm going to bring in my dark crumb cake, and I am simply going to color going around, kind of adding color to those areas that I haven't hit yet, and a little bit of shading here. And then I'm going to come back and blend that with my light again. Now I like to use a circular motion for this, but you can color the way you'd like. I found the circular motion kind of blends easier for me. And by going over these other areas, I'm also adding a little more color to it. You might notice our blends aren't exact to our cardstock. That is because as we add layers, it'll make it more accurate, and they know that we are going to do that. So I've got the little guy done. Oops, and I need to color his belly area here also. And I'm ready to add his nose, so I am going to take my light black here and simply color in this little triangle. And I am ready to cut him out with my layering circles, so let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so at this point I'm going to take my little wolf man, and I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back, and I am going to adhere him to this layered scallop circle that I cut out of basic black at the same time. Okay, now for the sentiment, I'm going to bring in my Boo to You sentiment, and I am going to ink that up with the Tuxedo Black. I'm going to stamp that onto my Whisper White cardstock, and then just for ease I'm going to use my 1-inch circle punch, but of course you can use the small layering circle die also if you would prefer. Okay, I am going to bring in my piece of Designer Series paper that I've added tear and tape to. I've added a piece across the bottom and a piece across the one side so that my candy bar will slide into it. I'm going to remove these and lay my bar in the center here, and I am going to first bring down this top edge, and I can slide my candy bar out a little bit so it's easier to fold. There we go. And then I'm going to bring up my bottom edge, line up those edges again, and adhere down. And at this point, I can squeeze that end and slide my chocolate bar in. You might want to make sure it is right side up. There we go. And I am ready to decorate. So I am going to bring in this yummy basic black scalloped edge ribbon, and I am going to simply tie it around the candy bar and tie a knot and trim that end off the way I want it. There we go, so it's nice and pretty. And then I'm ready to add my little monster to it. So I am going to take this, slide my ribbon over to where I'd like it so that I can work. And for this, I'm just going to add some multi-purpose adhesive down the center here and adhere. And then I'm going to take my little Boo to You, and I'm going to pop that up with a dimensional so it's on the same level as my little monster. Adhere that down. I can slide this ribbon because I did that separately where I want it. Okay, and then I'm going to add these adorable little googly eyes. They come in different colors and different sizes in your container. So you just have to decide what you want to use. And I'm thinking these green eyes will pop against his face. So I'm going to pick one of those up with my Take Your Pick tool and add those to his face. And then adjust as needed. So let me show you the original again. I think any little monster would love receiving these on Halloween. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.